y'all, this is Samila representing Sci Fitness, which means strength is for everyone. I just got a fresh lineup for the holiday time, feeling good, feeling myself. But yeah, just doing a little quick topic on the Robyn, Crawford, and Whitney Houston story. I did my last video and received some great feedback from folks. And it's beautiful to know that there's like-minded individuals that felt the same, or things I can learn from other people as far as the book goes and Robyn Crawford's interviews. And I just want to touch on one comment that was made under my last video. And it was of this brother that mentioned about self-identity issues within the Black community. So that is a very big issue in the Black community, as far as like who you want to be as a human being, developing from your youth ages, you know what I mean? So coming up as a young adult, I knew that I was interested in women. And this goes back elementary school. I knew I was interested in women. I would chase girls around the school, girls would chase me. And I just felt more of a connection with women. Not to say that I didn't kiss boys, because I sure did. I had little boyfriends in elementary school. That's the cutest thing in the world. I had those things. I did those things. But my thing back then, I can say my thing, because I didn't understand it, was I wanted to impress women more. You know what I mean? Like, I would go to school wearing perfume. I would sit next to girls in the class. I used to sneak in my mom's perfume, sunflowers, and sit next to girls and chase them and have them chase me and stuff. So I knew I was something was different about me, and I couldn't explain that. But in my young adult years, I wanted to experiment, with what I was feeling. And so I was just more drawn to women. And at the time of, coming up, I was going to churches, and well, not churches, one church. And what was preached was that, being in the same-sex relationship was a sin, and you're going to go to hell for it. And God, doesn't love you if you are sinning in this way. And there was a lot of emphasis put on that. And it's pretty ironic, because when a pastor was preaching about that, it was all good. Now his son is a grown man, and his son is a gay man. And my mom told me that he no longer preaches about same-sex relationships no more, now that his son is gay. So that topic is, looked over now. It was such a big thing when I was coming up. And I wish, when I used to hear that, I used to want to crawl under the damn seat, because I was like, oh shit, God doesn't love me because I'm into women, I'm queer. And, it's just something that was like very, what's the word? Very just like discouraging for me. Like, okay, here I am worshiping as God, and I'm coming to this church. I'm being a faithful member. I'm not sleeping around. I just love women. They make it sound like it's such a promiscuous thing. Like, if you're interested in same-sex relationships, it's like you're so promiscuous, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, for straight folks, it's not a big deal, but if you're gay or whatever, oh my God, you're just the most hoish person in the world. You know what I mean? That's what it made it seem like, but I was nowhere near that way. Anybody could be hoish and throw themselves around, straight or gay, it doesn't matter. But I suffered from self-identity issues due to just listening to others and not fully developing. Those are the most crucial years of development when you are a youth, because you are trying to figure out who you are and who it is that you want to be. And when you have folks interfering with that, it takes a toll on you. You know what I mean? Emotionally and spiritually, it takes a huge toll. So I was stressed out. I mentioned this in my last video. My first girlfriend, I had her at 19, when I was 19. And we broke up because of me, because I had self-identity issues. I was so fearful of going to hell. I would tell my girlfriend at the time that, we shouldn't do this because God doesn't approve of it. And it was just heartbreaking for her. And fast forward, we're still friends. It's been 11 years. We're great friends, and I love her dearly, always and forever. She knows that. But at the time, it was just like, man, this is fucked up. I love this lady so much. Excuse me. And it hurts me to know that I can't give her all of me because I'm living in fear. I'm hiding her from my family. Like, I would bring her around, but she was just a friend. But for her family, they knew I was her girlfriend. So it was just a mixed situation. When I'm at her house spending the night, everybody knows me as Laura's girlfriend. And then when she comes over my house, that's Samila's friend. You know what I mean? So it was very heartbreaking and confusing. And so that caused our breakup, my self-identity issues. And with this book, A Song for You, Whitney Houston, I could say that Whitney Houston and I were the same because we both come from households that was very big on religion. Thank goodness my mom is not religious anymore. She understands me now. So she's a spiritual being. Yes, she believes in God, but she respects me for me and loves me for me. You know what I mean? But Whitney Houston also came up in a very, I would say, strict household where, you gotta abide by God's rules type of thing. You have to leave out who you are and give him all of you. And, it's just such a mind-boggling thing. You can't live out to be who you want to be. And it's very heartbreaking because I believe, I don't know, but I strongly believe and feel from reading this book that Whitney Houston really wanted to develop a long-term loving relationship with Robyn Crawford because she did not want to have her away from her side. You know what I mean? She always wanted her around. They even lived together. As an assistant, you don't have to live with the person you work for. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty unique relationship. Whitney was very fond of Robyn Crawford. Unfortunately, that self-identity issue was always in the back of her mind. So she could not be who she wanted to be fully. So she looked for confirmation in men that did not even love her or respect her. You know what I mean? From Jermaine Jackson, which is Michael Jackson's brother, the Jackson 5, Eddie Murphy, who else we had in between? We had Bobby Brown. You know what I mean? Just these guys who were interested in her because she was Whitney Houston, but really did not love her enough to care for her. You know what I mean? The way she deserved to be cared for. And it's very heartbreaking that stuff like that happens in real life, guys. This is a celebrity lifestyle, but it can definitely happen. It happened to me. I ended up with a guy who I did not want to be with. And, my mom at the time advocated that, hey, this guy is, in fact, that's good that you're with him, even though he drugged me. You know what I mean? So that was very heartbreaking. This was about 6 years ago. I was drugged by this, he was my friend at the time, and he gave me a cookie that was an edible, that was laced with THC, and he did not tell me what it was. He presented it to me as a regular cookie. Sure, I have a cookie, why not? I'm spinning, so I was laced, so he can have sex with me. There I am laying in his bed, blacked the fuck out, with him on top of me, without my consent. You see what I'm saying? So, after that situation, my mom was like, she was just happy to see me with the guy at the time. She was like, he didn't mean it. It was an accident. Well, you were over there, having fun with him. And it was just heartbreaking. And at the time, I did not know how to think for myself. So I went along with it. Like, oh, she's just happy I'm with the guy. So maybe he did not mean to do these things. Maybe he really does care about me. It was hell. I dated him for a year. And it was horrible. I always felt like I had to look over my shoulders. I never really trusted him. It was a very abusive relationship, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally abusive, okay? I didn't stay long enough for it to become physical, but I felt that was the next step because he, emotionally abused, mentally abused, spiritually abusive. So I got out of that, you know what I'm saying? Thank goodness I got out of that. It is so important to think for yourself. 9 times out of 10, our own family will put us under the bus, just so it could be pleasing for them. But nobody cares about how you feel inside. And that was Sissy Houston. She even, Robyn Crawford described, her, Whitney Houston's mother's relationship with her. And it was horrible because Sissy, when Whitney Houston wasn't wearing her wig, when she wasn't in wardrobe, Sissy Houston used to tell Whitney that she looked like a damn boy just because her hair was short and she had very nice, vibrant features, she looked like a boy because her hair was short mainly. And it's fucking ridiculous. And I felt like Whitney was not loved from her family the way she should have been. And that's why everyone was so hostile towards Robyn Crawford. Because they knew that deep down inside that Whitney Houston was in fact in love with her and never stopped loving her and wanted a non-stop connection with her. Okay, this is before the fame. They met before the fame. Okay, so let's make that clear. That's why it's an important read if you guys are interested. Like, I would highly recommend this book. It will teach you some things about yourself and how important it is to be your whole self, no matter what any family, what anybody is saying. It's so important to be yourself. So that's what I'm learning throughout this book, and of course my own personal life, how important it is to do things to make you happy. You know what I mean? Do things, be you. You know what I'm saying? Be you. If something is sabotaging your health in any way, it's not for you. If you are happy and vibrant and you can spiritually feel that happiness, it is for you. Okay? That's how self-identity issues happen. On the cause of listening to other people, you're not able to live out to your full potential and who you are inside and out. Okay? I strongly believe, again, that Whitney Houston and Robyn Crawford would have been married, would have been happy, and things would have been just beautiful for her. And it was really sad to find that Whitney Houston's mom and dad and her family did not give a damn about Whitney Houston when she was spinning out of control with the drugs. Okay, Robyn Crawford talked about this, and she mentioned that she brought this up to her family. They did absolutely nothing because the royalties were coming in, the money was flowing, and so as long as she was with the man, you know, she was with married to Bobby Brown at the time, and that's when things really start spiraling out of control. Okay, she was doing drugs prior to Bobby Brown, but it spiraled to a whole nother level. And I remember watching award shows and seeing just Whitney Houston's frame just very thin. And I was young at the time, so I didn't understand that. But I remember seeing her, as Robyn Crawford is describing in this book, and how thin she was and how different she looked and her raspy voice. I remember all of that stuff. So it's not hard to believe these things. But, you know, to sum everything up, guys, be yourself. Love yourself. Meditate. You know, be gentle with yourself. Amongst all things, you can't listen to what everybody's saying. Again, if you feel good about it, it's bringing you pure happiness and joy, growth and development, do it. Whether that's a same-sex relationship, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to be in life, be it. Okay, you could do that. It makes you happy. All right, y'all. I'm almost done with this book. I love it so much. I'm on the chapter where it says 2000, which is, let me see, I think chapter 18, if I'm not mistaken. But I am almost done with the book. I'm taking my time. Oh, I'm way off. I'm on chapter 21. Wait, hold on. I'm past that too. My goodness, I've been reading, y'all. I'm on chapter 22. So I'm definitely going to finish up and enjoy, take some notes, and come to y'all with another video as soon as I finish the book. All right, y'all, be blessed and be who you want to be. Love is love. Peace.